please stand? We'll start with the pledge, followed by a prayer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pray with me. Lord, we come to you so thankful for the many blessings you've given us here on this earth. Lord, thank you for this community that we live in and this school that we serve. Lord, please be with each and every board member here tonight. I pray that you grant us wisdom and help us to always act in the best interest of the students and the faculty. That's in Jesus' name. Amen. So we'll call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Note that we do have a quorum present and the agenda was posted in a timely fashion. Next item is recognition of students of the month in the board conference room. If the board would come to the front.
All right, Miss Al, you brought a group. We glad to see everybody here tonight.
Okay. We'll get started. So I'm going to start with the oldest ones that I have here. So, 5th grade, for Miss Bullock's class, our soaring cardinals for the third 6 weeks is Britt Hawkins. Britt is an excellent student, citizen, and young man. He's well-rounded in all that he does and gets along with everyone, and he works at a challenge, is what Miss Bullock says about you. 5th grade from Miss Frost is J.C. Grissom. I don't know that she's here. 4th grade from Miss Gaines is Mally Epperson. Great kid that's well liked by her peers and always willing to help others.
Congratulations.
4th grade from Miss Land's class is Braylon Chambliss. Then 3rd grade. 3rd grade from Miss Westbrook's class is Layton McKeever. Layton always has a smile and is kind to everyone. She's a great student.
Good job. Congratulations.
Also Miss Westbrook's class, 3rd grade, is Brett Howe. Brett stepped up and took care of our chrysalises while we were on Christmas break. He did a fantastic job narrating about the chrysalis becoming a butterfly. 3rd grade, Miss Wyndham is Millie Murphy. Millie is a hard worker and has the kindest heart. She has a positive attitude and a love for learning. She tells the best stories. 3rd grade, Miss Wyndham also is Avery Kite. 2nd grade, Miss Norris is Gunnar Attaway. He is so kind, a great friend to others, and has an awesome personality. He keeps me laughing. He's very inquisitive and has a true love for learning. He always has a smile on his face and is such a pleasure to teach. 2nd grade also, Miss Norris's class is Maddox Yee. He's an amazing student. He always tries to do his best in everything he does. He has such a kind heart and truly cares for others. He is always considerate of others' feelings and is such a great friend to his classmates. I love getting to be his teacher. Congratulations. 2nd grade in Miss Epperson's class is Brant Seals. says if you know Brent, then you have probably been on the receiving end of his kindness. He makes a point to find things, whether it is flowers on the playground or that special rock. He's always on the hunt for the treasure and excited to share his find with everyone. He's a hard worker and always does his best. He's a great example of a Maude Cardinal. Also from Miss Epperson's class is Tessa Seals.
Get one here. Get one.
Tessa has the ability to brighten a room the moment she steps in. Her personality is one of a kind. Not only that, but the kindness she shows others is to be mentioned. She shows she's a hard worker and does her best, and she is a great example of a Maude Cardinal. And then, last but not least, is our staff member of the month, and that is Miss Kristen Cooper. She works hard with each of her students. They're all at different levels, and she rises to the pressure. She has grace and confidence when she's doing everything that she does in her classroom. And believe me, she has lots of different kids at different times, and she does a great, great job. Congratulations.
Next is Mr. Wyndham. Once we get all our secondary students, we'll have everybody come out and we'll have the pictures right out here, and then y'all are certainly free to stay or free.
For our middle school, I'll start off with them first. One of my sixth grade students that wasn't able to be here tonight, I'll go ahead and still talk about him. Is our sixth grade student of the month is Mr. Noah Hill, and I wanted to make sure that he was recognized for not only the fact that he was voted for student of the month, but also probably one of the most sweet kids that you'll ever see. He goes out on the recess playground area, or alternative area, whatever you want to give it a name for. What I have also noticed, besides him being sweet and kind, he also has been going up and picking up like trash or sticks that are in the way that somebody may go trip over and fall. So I really wanted to make sure that everybody knows not only is he a good kid, but as far as his attitude, sweet kindness, but the fact that he helps others try to keep from getting hurt or anything like that. He's a really good kid. So very proud for him. Seventh grade student of the month is Miss Brenna Waters. Brenna was recognized by a couple of different teachers. Number one of the first things is one of the teachers talking about how inquisitive she is and how hard she works in class. One of our other teachers wanted to make mention of how good she is with other students, how much she works with them, helps them. And also, one of the other teachers that I talked to was very impressed with just how she not only keeps working hard, but how much she has actually improved on different things. So we're very proud of Brenna. Thank you, Brenna. Our next student of the month is 8th graders, and it is Miss Abby Braden. One of the spirit leaders here at the school. Very proud of Abby. She is always positive, and just as a normal cheerleader would be, she's always smiling. We're very proud to have her around. She has done a great job. And also, I got a compliment from one of her teachers on how smart she is, even though she doesn't believe it all the time. She is doing an excellent job, and I'm proud of her. Thank you very much. And she did My 9th grade student of the month, entering into the high school side now, is Miss Nyari White. Miss Nyari is also in several different classes, but one of her teachers that she has a couple different times wanted to make sure that we recognized her hard work. Miss Hinton said that Miss Nyari is doing an unbelievable job in the classroom. Very proud of her for her hard work. Thank you, Nyari. sophomore student of the month happens to be in the softball game, so I'm going to skip over to the junior real quick. Our junior student of the month, I called her mom, said she got in a fight today, you need to come get her. She's like, no, I can't even get her to fight in a basketball game. But, you know, I will say that I get to know her personally, just at the house, she'll come by every now and then and visit with my family. Our 11th grade student of the month is without a doubt one of the sweetest kids. I probably try to talk her into fighting sometimes, but I know she would never do that. She's a good kid. And not only that, one of her teachers complimented her very well as far as her academic side. So I'm very proud of that. That always makes me happy. Miss Valo White. Our senior student of the month is a new student to us, and I'm going to tell you, he and his brother both have been just lights out. It has been amazing getting to watch these guys every day. Just mannerisms, holding the door for people, you know, and they came from a big town. You would think that that's not something that they would do, but they have fit in so well with us, and I cannot tell you how happy we are to have both of the boys. I will tell you that Mr. Barron is extremely fired up about them. He says it is amazing at what all they can do. Our senior student of the month, Mr. Braden Buchanan. Before I jump into our staff member of the month, I just saw my 6th grader show up, so I'm going to get him to come on up. Noah? I was talking good about you, Noah.
He said all kind of good
job, buddy. Good job, buddy. Congratulations. Congratulations. Good job, Noah.
Yeah, we love us some Noah. All right, so my staff member of the month is a guy who he likes to say he yells and screams and does that stuff a lot, but I'm going to be real honest with you, he's probably one of the quietest, personable guys that you will get to meet. He also is one of probably the kids' biggest fans. He will get into their tail, but he will also hug them, tell them how much he loves them, how much he cares for them. He will go to umpteenth degree to work with a kid and help them out. He bends over backwards to do whatever he's got to do to help our kids, and it's showing with some of the progress that we've made. One of the other things that people don't know about coaches is sometimes you have some ones that are just really good in the classroom, and I'm going to tell you that this dude right here is on fire in the classroom, and I love it. I can walk by every day and something good's going on, and he will act out in voices, he will dress up, he will do whatever he's got to do to get kids fired up about some history. And watching the Alamo presentations are amazing. So I can't tell you how happy I am for this guy, Mr. Jordan Higgs.
Appreciate it. Congratulations. Appreciate you.
And as you can tell, he's still in his coaching gear. He is working a powerlifting meet. Yeah, so he's getting after it. All right, so that concludes students of the month, things like that. If you want, we'll head out this door right here. We'll go take pictures right in front of the press.
Next item on the agenda is item 4, conduct public hearing on the district's TAPER, Texas Academic Performance Report.
All right. I will give you all a copy of several little items. We looked at the A through F. This is the TAPER, which is the much larger one. I'm just going to hit some highlights on it, and y'all can look over it. I've given you those, and then here's just some highlights y'all can look at. Make it quicker to see. So our TAPER, every year we're required to do a public hearing, which is what we are going to conduct now. Our rating for the year is a rating of A. We had a 92 on the A2F. If you start on this page right here with the highlights on it, this will be the quickest way to look at it. Right below there, distinction designations. We have distinction designations in academic achievement in ELA, academic achievement in science, top 25% of comparative closing the gaps, and post-secondary readiness. What distinction designations are is we have a comparison group of 40 schools that are similar to us. And if we score in the top quartile, usually the top 10 of each one of these categories, then we'll receive a distinction designation. In the 6 previous years, I think we've scored in 1 total. This year, I think we got 4, which is the most that we've ever had. So just another testament of how well our teachers and students did this past year. If you look below that, you'll see each grade broken out by test. Our district scores are there on the left. It's an approaches, meets, and masters. You can see that comparatively to the state and regional averages. We'd like to highlight all the way through most of these in all areas of approaches. We are certainly above the state averages and meets in most categories. But if you'll look, we're above the state and regional average in all categories all the way through up through 7th grade, 8th grade reading, 8th grade science. So every grade up to those will meet, and then we start kind of becoming a little more on the average side when we get into our English 1 and English 2. But we can see tremendous performance well above the state and regional averages in all of those categories, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and in 8th. So we're very proud of what we were able to put in there. If we look back even in our science in the high school, in biology we did well. U.S. history last year was an issue that we all of a sudden kind of saw an anomaly where we dropped off for our passing percentages. You can see that we're now back above both state and regional averages when we look through there. College and career military readiness, that'll be on I think the 4th page. We can start getting into those. You can see that our scores, again, at 93% this year. We saw a large increase over the 1920 year, as well as large increases over both the regional and state averages. Dual credit, I know that's an issue that here at Maud we've tried to pride ourselves in offering plenty of dual credit and paying for that. We had 57% of students with some sort of dual credit course when they graduated. You can see that's well above the regional average and almost double what the state average is. And is up from our 19 and 20. Our approved industry-based certificate, we had 86% of our graduates in the 2021 school year receive an industry-based certificate. That was well above both regional and state. We talked about this before. The state of Texas decided they wanted to audit those numbers and make us prove that we did that much better, which we did, and were able to pass through that audit for it. And then you can see on the very last page our ACT test scores. We are right at both the district, or the region and state. We had a 19.6 average. The state was at a 20 and the region was at a 19.6. So our ACT scores in the 2021 class were right around where the state and regional averages would be. So that page is just kind of the quick highlights of the total A2F system. There's plenty more data there, and we're certainly happy to answer any questions that you have. But overall, academically, with the A rating, the distinctions, and the fact that we scored very well both in our college career readiness and really across most tested subjects, we did it very well academically this past year.
Good job. Well done.
Staff did a good job. That's all I got unless there's any other discussion.
Next item is public comments. Everyone? Have we none? Next item, communications.
We have none.
Consent agenda, the minutes of the January 12 facility workshop, special call meeting, minutes of the January 19th regular meeting, and the monthly financial report. Does any board member have any item they want to pull or discuss? Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Terry, second.
Second.
Second by Gap. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Consider for approval resolution extending the depository contract for Mod ISD.
We've got a resolution to extend with our current depository contract with farmers. It'll be the last extension that we can have before we have to go out for bids, which will be next year. But we do recommend that we approve the resolution extending the contract for this next school year.
2025.
It'll be through next year, and then we'd have to go out for bids we'd have to go out for bids next spring for the next year. Is that correct?
It'd be 2 years. Yeah, it's 2 years. It's
I
2025.
apologize, 2025. There you go.
Any other questions or comments? Do you have a motion to approve the resolution extending the depository contract for Mod ISD with Farmers Bank?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Terry, we have a second.
Second.
Second by Gap. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Information items. Principal's report, athletic director's report.
All right, Ms. Howell?
This one's pretty short this time. If you look at the enrollment, you can look at the enrollment from last year versus this year. We are actually up 6 students from last year. And we also have another one that's probably coming next week. So that'll put us around 7. The attendance percentage is a little down. We always have something going around. Strep, stomach bug, something. We recognize our Teacher of the Month and our Soaring Cardinals today. And then our spotlights, we had our 100th day of school at MES. And so we celebrated our 100th day of school different ways. Some of them dressed up, some of them, had treats in their room, that sort of thing. Something I just found out this week is we did kindness week and we had dress up days and things like that, but the leadership kids came into my office this week and said that we're a certified kindness school, and it's for the 2023 school year. So they completed all of their challenges that they needed to do in order to be a certified kindness school. So we are now a certified kindness school at Mott Elementary. And then the things we have coming up, and I do want to say, I didn't put this in here, but we finished our benchmarks right before winter break, and everybody took them online. So we had 3rd grade reading and math, 4th grade reading and math, and then 5th grade reading, math, and science. And so that was our first. We've taken a few assessments on the computer, but we were able to take a benchmark, and everybody did it on the computer for the first time, so that's awesome. Coming up events is our report cards go home this Friday. We have our book fair coming up next week. And then we have Grandparents' Day that they will visit in the morning for the book fair. And then open house will be on Thursday. And we're also going to have family night where they can come into the book fair from 5:30 to 7. Read Across America is also that same day. So I think our leadership kids have something a little special planned that day at school. And then the 3rd is we're going to have our Soaring Cardinals Parade for our 4-6 weeks Soaring Cardinal students. And then we have a readathon, which is going to be our fundraiser. It's going to be March the 6th through the 21st. And then we have our bad weather days. Any questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Middle school, high school attendance is about the same as it was last month. We were 96.09 last month. We're at 96 even this month. Actually had several kids come back from the DAP center, so we're pretty much back to full capacity, as far as in terms of our campus kids are now back. I have basically 115 in the middle school and 128 in the high school total right now. We are doing really well, I think, as far as we've done a lot of benchmark testing, things like that, to find out where our kids are. So we're going over some of those with the kids right now. things like that. We have a few more still coming up, but we're in a good place right now. Sweetheart Dance, we got it over last week during that Valentine's time. You can see there the pictures of the kids. They had a ball. I love watching those guys that get to dress up and hang out and dance and do things like that, so that was really cool. Our student council was awarded several different distinctions as they went to the spring forum the other day in Ore City. They got Pride and Patriotism Award, Energy and Environment Award, Drug, Alcohol, Safety and Health, Community Service, Outstanding Council, and Sweepstakes Council there at the contest or the forum. From there, we had our District 1 Act Play Contest where we advanced to the by district. I think that is the 5th year in a row, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And the students won several awards. Ms. Jaden Sanders got the Tech Award. All-Star Cast was Brooklyn Henderson and Mackenzie Bishop, which was a good deal. Those girls all pretty much decided they were not only going to play softball together, but they were all going to go do 1 Act Play together. So it was a really cool deal to watch all of them work together doing that. We had several seniors take the TSIA2 English test on campus. We've had a lot of success with it. We're very proud of our kids. There's a few seniors that are going to test again in March for their college entrance exam. Our March 4th, we have the junior high solo and ensemble contest coming up here at Maud. Mr. Fannin puts a lot of that together for us. Works really hard to help our junior high kids get some exposure to what it would be like when they get to the high school level. Other than that, that's just about it this week, or this month. Any questions, anybody? All right. See you guys.
We get Joel's printer up there. Mine has been going together trying to read all through all this stuff.
You want the elementary, we can take it over there.
I actually put in a request with Mark today.
There you go. There you go. Mr. Coach Turner's at last chance powerlifting meet tonight, but here is his athletic report. You can see it's got the completion of both girls and boys basketball, junior high seasons, powerlifting. We'll have our first golf team tournaments. We're starting up actually next Monday with the boys, and the girls will start in March. We got both softball and baseball at tournaments tonight. We'll have track meets starting soon. We did complete the indoor cage in the rock gym. Coach Turner, Coach Graff, maintenance staff did a really good job putting all that up. It looks really nice. It's going to be very functional. They also put in some drainage down there at the baseball field. Coach Graff and Doyle did around the batting cage to get some of that water that's running through there also. They've been working hard on facilities trying to get those ready to go. That's all I got.
Next item 10, consider and possible approval of interlocal agreement for election services with Bowie County.
So we talked about this previously, but this would be a interlocal agreement for Bowie County to host our election. We will be able to cancel the board election. We have no opposition for the two incumbent board members, so congratulations to you gentlemen. But we will have our bond election in May. This interlocal agreement would have Bowie County handle all the election services, judges, workers. On election day, you can vote anywhere in the county, including the First Baptist Church. And this agreement also does give us an early voting location at the First Baptist Church to early voting here in Maud for this election. The estimate, total estimate of the cost to do that is going to be right at $12,000. But I do recommend that we approve the agreement for services in Bowie County.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
About the cost of it and the proposal that they would have for us being staffed during the early voting. Is that how they're going to staff it? With that many clerks and election judges? So that's something we might have to look at later on, is maybe moving our elections to November so we can share the cost if it's going to be that high every time.
Very well could be, if we need to look at that. A lot of that will depend on whether or not, who else goes with Bowie County to do that, or if they're hosting their own. In this case, we're sharing it here. A lot of things changed after 2020, and the requirements now that are required to have elections in early voting and who has to be there has changed in those requirements and how long they have to be open.
Okay. But, I like the way Bowie County got set up. I just thought that, having 2 election judges and two clerks and just for our local ISD early voting is outrageous.
But
Be short.
if we get on and I just wondered, they'll charge us to be on the November election also, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but I would think it would be a shared cost with
But my question is,
somebody with Bowie County or
when
somebody.
when on the November election, that'll open up all the voting sections. I'm not saying that it would be cheaper, but I would warn that it may not be cheaper to do it in November. It may be something to check into.
We need to look at it though.
Because the machine allows you to vote anywhere in Bowie County,
That's
early
the best thing
voting.
they ever did.
And does that mean we would have to share the cost for all the voting stations that have 2 clerks you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's just
But
something.
I agree
I
with you.
just kind of just
We definitely
jumped
need
out
to
at
look
it when I
at
was reading through it. Sure.
We certainly can.
But I did also see a clause in there that the final bill would be after the election, so. maybe
We can
make some
certainly have those
adjustments.
discussions to them
Yeah.
on what's required out of that. This is with all the electronic machines versus, when we posted them previously, that was all paper-based.
Exactly.
So you're having to pay for those electronic machines to be here. And that's one of the reasons why, moving to share with them can share that cost. But having that location here where we can have early voting.
Yeah, okay. I'm fine with it. It just kind of shocked me with the number of personnel that's going to be staffed for one little simple election.
We can certainly do and see if there's any way to adjust any of that whatsoever. But that's basically what he believed would be the bare minimum to be able to do it when I talked to him.
All right, that's all I have. That's one.
Any-
Earlier.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Do we have a motion to approve the interlocal agreement for election services of Bowie County?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Terry, have a second?
Second.
A second by RJ. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Next item is annual review of the early childhood and college career and military readiness goals.
So we have what we call our House Bill 3 goals. That's what we have up here. What we'll look at is just this just kind of, we set these goals in 2020 to kind of look at, make sure that we're tracking and meeting where we're supposed to be. In 2020, this is what we felt like our goal was for 3rd grade students to meet, to score at meets level. This one is in math. We were at 42%, so we've kind of faced a slow growth up here. We actually, this past year, did meet with a total of 61%. Now, the discussion we can have is we can up all of that and make it a higher goal, but starting this year, we're fixing to see a whole new test. It's all going to be online, so we really don't know how our kids are going to be able to do with that. But this was the goal we set back in 2020 when we first looked at it, and we've certainly done much better than what we predicted. 100% always be the goal.
Should 100% always be the goal, Chris?
100% should be the goal.
You ever hit it, we'll expect better than this, right?
No, we'll expect 110%.
No, it's a 10 next year. We set criteria to hit to, this is for CCMR, or College and Career Readiness Standards. In 2020, we had set a goal to be at 90%, to work ourselves up to 96 by 2024. We are going to be right at that goal currently of 93%, looking to try to get to 95, and then 96 the year after that. Industry-based certificates, when we first started this, we'd set a goal at 17% in 2020. when COVID hit, we actually dropped below that and didn't meet what we needed to. But this past year, we were able to get 86%. Now, this number, they've changed the game again on us on classrooms and what the requirements are, so that may, 86% may drop back off as well. Not next year, but the following year, this number is going to be harder and harder to get to. Next year, our number, what we predict, is actually going to be probably a little more than 86% that got it. But the following year, they've added a bunch of classroom requirements that are going to knock down our percentage well below 90%.
In states, that's not good.
It's always said average.
Shoot for 18 and get 86. That'll bust you, you know what I mean?
Mine always said, hey, you settling for average? Absolutely. Expectations can't be any higher or any lower. It's low for average.
So these are the goals that we'll look at for this time, just to kind of do our annual review. Our early childhood, which is our second grade scores, we had originally set goals using TPRI, which we no longer use. So this summer, when we review the results, we'll have a new test, and we'll need to do some new goals. But we'll look at that. I believe our calendar says in June is when we would go. Our monitoring calendar, I believe it is in June. We'll come back and look at those. But this is just a way that we can track and make sure that we're trying to meet the goals that we set, both on the HB3 and accountability goals. But again, all accountability is fixing to reset, and next year, as well as we feel we did this year, it's going to be harder to reach the same levels next year as what we did. So we do predict to see a little bit of a drop on some of these next year. Any questions on any of those? I said I don't want to reset all those to much higher because I'm afraid with this new test and new accountability system, we're going to see ourselves step back in a lot of those goals. But we are making good progress from where we were in 2020.
Any other discussion on that? Next item, superintendent's report.
All right. I know both principals kind of mentioned this. We've completed our spring benchmark test. We're starting to look through those results. And we'll be able to present more of those coming up. Just update overall in district improvements. We will be having some roof repairs both to the competition gym. We've got several leaks. We've had a leak this past month over the actual wood floor. Back when we redid those locker rooms, we redid all the rivets and all the seams on that side of the gym, but didn't get this side of it. That's what we're going to have them come back and redo all of those. The elementary gym, there's some repairs at the elementary building down on the pre-K wing, and then some at the high school that we've approved. They're going to come out next week and redo those. For those, we got the batting cage. We talked about the drainage update. Our fence is finally all the way completed with all the barbed wire around the whole complex. All of that's been working well, so we've got all that finished. The AI software is installed, and we are working through cameras. We're having to play with our resolution a little bit to do some things there with the server, but it is in, and we're kind of tweaking that system right now, which would complete our original updated or original safety improvements. We are having anti-resistant film installed. They started that installation here on everything outside the fence. So all the way across the front of this building and go all the way through the science wing. Once that's installed, then we're going to come back and look at what it takes to do some stuff inside the fence. But that should meet what TEA's requirements are for us. So they've got a lot of that installed. They've got to come back and just do some touch up on the main doors and do the windows here on the front. They're shooting to come back here as soon as they get some days off, but hopefully it'll be completed by spring break.
Did they not finish all the
No. But they started these, at least on the outside. They're not all the way completed. So the way that works, they put that film in, and then they'll screw in a border to keep that whole thing out and coming in silicone out. He's got to come back and do some of the silicone, I think is the last piece that they ran out of time to do when they were here over winter break. So they're going to be coming back to work on those when we're out of school. Open house, we'll have open house next Thursday, March 2nd. It'll run from 6 to 7. I think we're having family night in the library at 5:30 to 6. And then we're going to have our first community town hall bond presentation on that night, directly following that. So about 7:10 in the cafeteria, I think is what we're putting out on our social media post for that. more than welcome to be. Don't have to be, but you are invited. That's it. That's all I got.
We're going into executive session at 7:15 PM. Discuss personnel according to Texas Government Code Section 551.074. Discuss, consider contracts of the following personnel: middle high school principal and elementary principal, resignation, retirement from employees, same Texas Government Code Section 551.074, and discussion of personnel. We're going into executive session. We'll take a 5-minute break. Reconvene. We're coming back into open session at 8:05 PM. Our next item on the agenda is consider and take action on personnel contract recommendations. First would be middle high school principal. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we extend Mr. Wyndham's contract by a year.
We have a motion to extend the contract by a year. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Have a second? All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Next is elementary principal. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we extend Ms. Howe's contract by a year.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by RJ. All in favor, raise your right hand. Passes unanimously. Next item is consider take action accepting resignation and retirement. We have a resignation letter from Ms. Cindy Stewart. Do we have a motion to accept that resignation/retirement?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, we have a second?
A second.
Terry, second. All in favor, raise your right hand. It is unanimous. Next item is adjourned. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion to adjourn. We have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, feel free to stay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.